like to acknowledge and appreciate the presence of our President, His Excellency President Ramaphosa, ministers and deputy ministers present here, MECs present here, as well as the executive mayors representing mainly our metro municipalities and our 2 districts. And thank you, President, for accepting our request that we include the executive mayors of our municipalities in these discussions. DGs and HODs, distinguished guests, members of the media, and the people of Gauteng. It's indeed our absolute honor to receive and welcome our President, His Excellency President Ramaphosa, and members of the National Cabinet in our province. We look forward to this engagement to reposition our province so that it can serve our communities better as we grow Gauteng together through our Vision 2030. It's now 7 months since the 7th administration has been established and configured in terms of our government of provincial unity. We are ready and absolutely prepared to ensure that our national government can engage with us and extend their ideas, and we also present our ideas to them. We are thankful for this opportunity and want to commit to partnership, commit to a relationship that will ensure that our people are better served. As I said, this visit will assist us to enhance the implementation of the 3 national priorities that we have repackaged it as part of our priorities in our province. You will see in major CBDs and strategic centers, there are people that have occupied land and repositioned themselves in a manner that it becomes extremely difficult for them to be removed or to be relocated to appropriate areas. G7 is electricity, in particular areas when we have load shedding and load reduction in our communities. G8 is an increase in gender-based violence and femicides. G9 is drug abuse, especially the use of nyawupe and the effect it has on our young people. Mr. President, this is an area of deep concern that we stand to lose a generation of young people if we don't tackle this issue of drug abuse. G10, it services at our strategic areas, in particular our health systems, our health facilities and clinics that are overloaded now with people that, in some instances, they don't have the proper documents and information that can assist us to provide the necessary services. G11 is the number of schools that are needed to accommodate an overflow of learners that are coming to our province. We always argue that we feel honored when other people believe that we provide quality education, but unfortunately we are overburdened. This year alone, we received more than 1.2 million new learners. If you calculate this, we'll see that we'll need almost 11 new high schools or schools and the number of educators that are needed in our province. G12 is failing infrastructure, especially in our CBDs across the province. All our CBDs from Springs right up to Roodepoort are going through difficulties. And literally, we are facing an era of aging infrastructure coupled with a high level of vandalism and organized syndicate, in particular, the Zamazamas that are taking our infrastructure. And the last one is G13, we called unemployment. We will detail, Honorable President, in our presentation engagement with you, the programs and plans that were put in to grow the economy of Gauteng as we understand the responsibilities that have been assigned to us to manage this important aspect. So, if we have to reverse the impact of this G20, if we have to work extraordinarily hard to ensure that these G13 problems of Gauteng are resolved, we need each other. We need to work together, we need to plan together, We need to execute these missions together. So, President, we are here to seek your counsel. We are here to seek your guidance, but most importantly, we are here to form a formidable partnership with you. There are areas that we think, if we agree at this level, it will unlock the potential of our province, but most importantly, it will allow us to resolve the challenges that are faced by our people every day. We have brought our executive mayors here so that we plan together and resolve our challenges together. Once more, Honorable President and members of the Cabinet, thank you for embarking on this exercise to engage with us and assist us to propel our province to the next level. You are indeed warmly welcomed. Thank you so much.
Build a better Gauteng for all our citizens. And in building a better Gauteng for all our citizens, if we can't tackle those 13 issues that we have, then no one will benefit, including the visitors that are coming here. So our approach is that anything that is broken, anything that needs immediate attention, let's ensure that we fix it to be enjoyed by everyone, not a certain section of our society. But it will be naive to say a G20 that will be held here for the first time in our continent can be a special event that can have its own legacy programs. We must be convinced that we have a G20. By the time they left, these are legacy projects that we have. And that's the area that we want to invest and elevate. We had 2010 here. We have FNB here. Whether Pirates is winning or losing, but there's an FNB stadium that has been a product of that. We want the same with G20, even though the timelines might be limited. I dispute the fact that we are doing this because they are visitors. We are doing this for all our South Africans, but we want to leave an everlasting impression so that the one that visited us now must come back later with her family or his family to see this beautiful South Africa. But we can't claim that everything is right. So the G20, the G13 issues that we have, we needed a consolidated work with our national government and provincial government as well as local government. I can say to you now, there is that tacit agreement that we can work together to resolve those particular issues. The problem is that when you remember BRICS was here, there were restrictions in which they were imposed. The things that you couldn't do either as a province or local authority because it was regarded as an international platform that must be managed at international level. And we were looking forward mainly to the G20 itself. But when these sessions were arranged, the venue that was chosen as well, which is Nazareth, is privately owned. So our intervention on it, you are limited to attend to it. But now that we've discussed it, we know the areas that we need to improve. And I committed on behalf of government and local government that was here, that will not have the situation that the president has identified. We've already put a team. If you check there, we've already put CCTV cameras. We've agreed with a joint team between ourselves and the mayors to deal with this issue. But we're not dealing with this issue specifically for G20. We need a legacy program that can be enjoyed by all South Africans. And that's the approach and the orientation that we are taking. But I apologize to the president that he had that particular experience. And we felt that we'll identify venues for other meetings and we'll identify areas where we believe that they can leave a lasting legacy and a lasting impression to those that will be visiting our country. We went to bid that must be held in Gauteng. It was given to us. My understanding is that those meetings that have been arranged, sometimes they are arranged outside the arrangements with the institution. But it's not an excuse that grass must be cut. It's not an excuse that the road must be perfect. It's not an excuse that traffic lights must function. And that is why we have identified them as the province as G13 problems. And we put the necessary resources. When the MEC responsible for finance after the national budget has been presented, you will see our intervention program. It was just unfortunate that those incidents happened before we put our G13 processes to deal with those challenges. But it's not an excuse. I must emphasize that. The problem was that the planning teams that planned for these events, there was a huge miscommunication. What is it that can be done by provinces and local government? What is it that can be done by national government? But in this meeting, there's a clear line on how we're going to cooperate and work together.